as I reflect back on some of the things I would have and should have done a little bit different now that I wish I probably would have done then, is one, stuck with a game plan. Originally, this motor was supposed to go into a 1965 Chevy S10. It was built for it's 450 horsepower, 475 torque. So it was built to go in that truck. However, it's a pretty steep cam. It doesn't kick in until 2,500 RPMs. There's a lot more air to cool down the headers and stuff in the C10 than it is in here. So I think I really would have built this a little different, knowing it was going to go into the S10 instead of the C10. One of the things I regret doing is not putting long tube headers on. These little shorties right there, you can see a pain in the butt to get to. You can't really tighten them up. You can't really use the right size bolts to go through them because you have zero access to them. So I really wish I would have went long tube headers instead of. Another thing I probably would have done differently is wrap the headers in header wrap. I'm getting 750 degrees coming off of these headers. It's really hot, and I'm burning through spark plug wires like there's no tomorrow. For instance, I've had maybe 25 miles on these wires right now. If I pulled just one off, there we go. You can see right there. So I'm just burning through spark plug wires to no end. That means I'm sparking. I'm not getting as good as performance as I should be, and it's just because of the heat. It's just too hot down here. Now my radiator and the fans I chose for being the cheapest one on eBay, believe it or not, is holding up well. I average 195 driving. So that's holding up great. I've actually burnt through, you can see the MSD wires here. I've burnt through 3 sets of them before I start switching over to the cheap sets. And now I'm burning through them. I've switched over to ceramic coated. So I'm hoping that will help me protect. I think these are good to up to 2200 degrees. And I have a heat shield that will go over top of it to be even more protective. Another thing I think I wish I should have done differently is not spent the money on the sniper. I don't think it was worth the money, especially the digital dash. I should have taken that money, it's close to $3,000, and just got a supercharger, because I think for the look, I can put the supercharger on top of this, come out the hood, and I would think I would like that look better than having a sleeper. Again, just me, my thoughts. Another thing I think I would have done a little different is the brake booster. I think I would have put on a little bit smaller brake booster so it's not as intrusive into the valve covers. I can still get them off, but what I end up doing is after I take these out, I have to take the stud out of here, because these are 2 pieces. One's a stud, one's a screw-on piece. So I have to take the stud out also, and then the valve cover will come off. Now I can remedy that by just getting a 1-piece instead of a 2-piece. But that's just another thing I think I wish I would have done, because it's hard to adjust anything inside the valves or check anything inside the valves. It's also really hard to check the spark plugs. I went to pull them out for the first time to check them, and I got all of them out except for this one, which is down here. I could not get that one out, and I could not get the driver's side one all the way in the back. I can't get that one out. It's just too clustered. So I'm gonna have to find or make a specialty tool to get that done when time calls. But right now everything is, all the other spark plugs look and run fine. No issues there. I am having issues with my throttle. It's extremely hard. Like when I first touch the gas, it's hard to break that first little bit. I don't know how to explain it. It's like catching up. It's binding somehow, but you can see it's completely free running. It's just the pedal on the inside is not easy to move. But other than that, I really like the project. I very much enjoy driving it. I cannot keep a kickdown cable on it. I've been through 13 of them so far, and no matter what I do, you can see down here, I think you can see it. Okay, so I even wrapped the kickdown cable in heat wrap, and under that heat wrap is a heat shield. So double, triple extra. Now it did get a little close. That's my fault on this one because I bought the longer one than I needed, but it's still burnt up, it's still locked up, and I still don't have a kickdown. So that's something I would definitely do a little different. Again, going back to long tube headers, I don't think I would have that issue. But it is what it is.